A University of Toledo professor says you cannot understand the black community without understanding the black church.
And historically, the institution provided a place to gather and feel safe from discrimination and other injustices. As times change, Tiffany Tarpley explores the relevance of the black church today.
Put your hands together.
In churches across the country and right here in Toledo, a joyful noise can be heard on Sundays. Worshiping and song and coming together to give thanks. Warren African Methodist Episcopal Church in Toledo is no exception. Currently located on Collingwood Boulevard near Indiana Avenue, Reverend Dr. Otis Gordon Jr. is the senior pastor.
To the God Jehovah.
He's just one leader among generations of pastors sharing the gospel to this congregation.
Back in 1847, what they literally did was they wanted a school. And so this began as a school and then gradually a place of worship, and the first place of worship.
This historical marker sits on Summit Street near Adams in downtown Toledo. It outlines the humble but mighty beginnings of Warren AME, not only Toledo's first black church, but the city's first black institution.
African Americans, when they worked in society, they were no one. They were second-class citizens. But when they came into the church, they could be the preacher, they could be officers, they were respected and revered. This was a fairly large church.
Reverend Gordon says the history of Warren AME is very long and storied. So is the institution of the black church as a whole.
He says to them, have you not known?
The majority of African Americans, even today in 2023, practice Christianity.
Angela M. Siner is the director of Africana Studies at the University of Toledo. She explains how the origins of today's black church date back to slavery in the U.S.
They saw Jesus as an activist. Jesus was on the side of the oppressed and not on the side of the oppressors. Late at night, deep in the woods during the period of enslavement, they would hold these meetings called Hush Harbor or Brush Harbor meetings, in which they made Christianity speak to their needs. And they created what I call a black theology, that God was a personal God. If God could save Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, why couldn't he save me, right?
The fight for freedom and justice started from the very beginning,
Dear God,
and lives on to this day.
On Sunday mornings, it's not uncommon for African Americans to sit in church and hear about issues that are confronting the black community.
At the end of the day, God has the last word.
According to a Pew Research study released in 2021, 66% of black Americans are Protestant, 6% are Catholic, 3% identify with other Christian faiths, and another 3% belong to non-Christian faiths. But 1 in 5 black Americans, about 21%, are not affiliated with any religion.
Think about in the 21st century, what the church has meant to the community in the 19th century, beginning during the period of enslavement and into the 19th and the 20th century. And we come to the 21st century, and we have 21% that say they are unaffiliated. That's startling for the black community.
And the world feeling bad news.
Despite the fact that we might think that the black church is irrelevant today, it is still relevant because individuals still attend. We African Americans have the highest attendance rate, bar none, for attending church. And so the church is still speaking to the needs of the people.
21 through 31.
The truth of the matter is that the church will never die. It will, throughout the larger history of the church, it has ebbed and webbed. So we are in one of those times. The church is in the process of changing. I think that once the church becomes more relevant to people in terms of meeting them where they are with the message of Christ, then we'll be more successful.
In Toledo, Tiffany Tarpley, WTOL 11.